Welcome to English with Teacher. I'm Teacher. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you're having an awesome day. So, today we are doing advanced English and Bible study. And we're doing a nice little short one here. We are doing this out of Acts, and we are doing Acts chapter 9, verses 32 to 43, to the end of chapter 9. So it's going very well. We're doing reading for pronunciation, and then we're going back and doing explanations for grammar and comprehension. So I love teaching like this. It's just so natural, and it allows people to do proper sentence structure, proper pronunciation. It teaches everything at the same time. Plus, they learn the Bible, and that's always good. So, next is I have to allow my very professional, awesomely smart, and always charming co-host to introduce herself. So, ma'am, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone. My name is Sim. I'm Vietnamese.
Thank you very much for joining me, Miss Sim. So, first of all, I would ask that you please read the verses in front of you.
Yes. Peter hears Aeneas and rises Dorcas. Meanwhile, Peter traveled from place to place, and he came down to visit the believers in the town of Lydda. There he met a man named Aeneas, who had been paralyzed and bedridden for 8 years. Peter said to him, "Aeneas, Jesus Christ hears you. Get up and roll up the sleeping mat." And he was healed instantly. Then he heard population.
No.
Then the whole population of Lydda and Sharon saw Aeneas walking around, and they turned to the Lord. There was a believer in Joppa named Tabitha, which in Greek is Dorcas. She was always doing kind things for others and helping the poor. About this time, she became ill and died. Her body was washed for burial and laid in an upstairs room. But the believers had heard that Peter was nearby at Lydda, so they sent 2 men to beg him, "Please come as soon as possible." So Peter returned with them, and as soon as he arrived, they took him to the upstairs room. The room was filled with widows, who was weeping and showing him the coat and other clothes Dorcas had made for them. But Peter asked them all to leave the room. Then he knelt and prayed. Turning to the body, he said, "Get up, Tabitha." And she opened her eyes. When she saw Peter, she sat up. He gave her his hand and helped her up. Then he called in the widows and all the believers, and he presented her to them alive. The news spread throughout the whole town, and many believed in the Lord. And Peter stayed a long time in Joppa, living with Simon, a tanner of Hades.
Very good. Very good. When you slow down, you don't make mistakes. You see how that works?
Yes.
Do it right first and do it fast after.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's like when a child starts to walk. If they walk too fast, they keep falling down. If they learn slow and then they pick up speed, in a little while they're running around all over the place, and then you can't catch up with them. Okay, so let's hear your explanation.
Yes. Peter went from place to place, and he went out to visit the believers in Lydda. And he met a man named Aeneas, who was paralyzed and had
Whoa. Hang on. Paralyzed.
paralyzed.
Right. Don't forget the z, right?
Yes. And has been in bed for 8 years. Peter told him to get up, and he was healed. Then the whole population of Lydda and Sharon saw Aeneas walking around, and they turned to the Lord. There was a believer in Joppa named Tabitha. She is a good person who always helped others.
Whoa.
That's it.
She was
He's a good person.
She was a good person.
Yeah, she was a good person.
Okay. It was
And,
good that you didn't pronounce very good.
Yes. But he was sick and died. But the believers came and begged Peter to save her. And after that, Peter returned to them.
Returned with them.
Peter returned with them. And he went and prayed, and she came back to life. Then he called the widows and all the believers, and he showed them that he was alive.
Very good.
Yes, and after that, the news spread throughout the city, and Peter stayed a long time in Joppa. He's living with Simon.
He was living with Simon, or he lived with Simon.
He lived with Simon.
Very good. Very good. Awesome. It was it was a short one today. Your comprehension is great. I don't expect any less because you always do great at this. And just some of your sentence structure, again, when you're going fast. Because, see,
Yeah.
okay, and everybody watching, this is why I do what I do. because
Yes.
she has to understand what she's reading, she has to think about it, she has to put it into English, and then explain it to me. So she's doing all the hard stuff that you do when you have a conversation. And when you're doing all that, it's easy for little mistakes to creep in. Right?
Yes.
So it's like the hardest way to do it, but it gives you the best results.
Yes.
Because if you can do this, you can do anything. Okay?
Yes.
If you can explain the Bible, then you can start to have conversations about anything. And I'm not looking to train people to talk about specific things. I'm looking to train people, to teach people how to talk about anything.
Yes.
So for that, you have to be able to think in English, comprehend in English, and explain in English. So once you get good at doing this, as I said, it opens up. You can do anything, and you can have a conversation about whatever. And then you can do business, you can socialize, the door opens for any conversation in English. So you're doing excellent. Honestly, you are doing so good, right? I can tell you that you're dedicated to it. And you learn, and you keep learning, you keep improving. And there's always a little here and there, but we all make mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes speaking English. So it's not like it doesn't happen to teacher either. But so we just keep working at it. And as long as you're doing it, you'll keep getting better. If you stop doing it, you'll start getting worse. So I have students who stopped talking to me like 2 years ago because they got busy with work. And their English is very bad now because they don't practice it. And they only speak Vietnamese. So you have to keep going. You need to get a community around you. Even if you're not going to keep learning from a teacher, you need a community of English speakers around you so that you can keep learning and keep getting better.
Yes.
Excellent work, ma'am. Good job. So thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you everyone at home for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned from it, and I hope to see you all in the next lesson. Have a great day.